Hey guys, and welcome to beautiful sunny Belgium. Yes, today it is a sunny day in Belgium, even though a lot of the times it's gray. Today I'm actually with my friend Marcus Majart.
Hello.
And we're actually going to be looking at a couple of second-hand or retro game video stores. And they're all around the center of the city. Some of them are a little bit on the outskirts, but hopefully we're going to find a lot of cool retro games, cool DVDs, maybe some other like snacks and other things, because, well, all these stores usually have a lot of interesting things. So I guess let's explore. Since Brussels is a really small city, a lot of the shops are in the center of town. So in order to be efficient in finding the best retro stores, we started our quest at La Bourse, which is the location for Le Piétonnier, which is the largest pedestrian zone in the center of Brussels. It really didn't take us too long to spot our first store. On our quest to finding all the cool video game stores in the city of Brussels, we're stopping by Inter Games, which is located on Boulevard Lemonnier. It's not the biggest store, but there seems to be quite a few jewels inside of it. And I think you found something already just looking at the outside shop, right?
It's not a video game, but I saw something I'm very interested in. I'm very excited to go inside.
Okay, well, I think let's check it out. This is something I actually like about going to video game stores when I'm back in Europe, is that you actually see all the European games that were exclusive to maybe Belgium or Europe. And for example, in this store they have Tintin in Tibet, which is based on a Belgian comic strip. So this is the kind of game that you would basically never actually find in America. If you're ever an American video game collector and you're trying to get games, maybe don't look so much for American games. Try to look for the European exclusive games. You're definitely going to find some good, nice treasures. And as you can tell, it's not too expensive, it's really cool.
One of the best game ever on Super Nintendo, Super Mario All-Stars. I have this one.
Super Mario Brothers, Mario 2, Mario 3, and Super Mario USA! 4つのゲームとおまけにニューゲームもついて1つのソフトにスーパーファミコンソフトスーパーマリオコレクション
I must admit that Inter Games is not the largest store, but they do have a decent selection of retro games, including stuff dating back to the NES era, all the way to the more modern systems. One thing that did stick out in the store was their large selection of DVDs, which were super well priced, which is not too much of a surprise since we are mostly in an age of streaming. With that being said, it was really nice to be able to look through all the DVDs in the hopes of finding some hidden gem. Here's another store in the center of the city that is really close to my heart, and it's called Pêle-Mêle. And this store is close to actually both our hearts in some ways because, well, we used to come here a lot as teenagers because this store had a lot of secondhand books, DVDs, CDs. Now they have a ton of used games, and it's really cool. They also have toys. And even though there's the Pêle-Mêle in the city, you actually, he actually informed me that there's two other stores.
Yes.
Where are they exactly?
I'm very used to go to this one in Ixelles and this one in Waterloo.
Okay, and they both have video games and toys?
Yeah, it's quite very good, yeah.
Okay. But this is the OG one, and we're kind of excited to rediscover it. At Pêle-Mêle, they definitely have a bigger collection than in the previous store. There's quite a few games. The only unfortunate thing I'm going to say is that it's not in the real packaging, but maybe this is just for display, maybe when you buy it, because you see there's none of the discs inside. So I'm hoping that when you actually buy a game, it actually comes with the real disc, but they have a lot. And honestly, the prices are actually pretty good too. Like €5, that's like $4.
Okay, don't be too much crazy. but I've found something that you are going to be crazy.
Okay.
Here it is.
Oh, they have
Tintin
it.
in a box.
$16? Oh, I'm getting that, that's for sure. I knew I wanted it in the box, and I did find it. I'm pretty glad that I waited for it, because the other store was what? It was $15 just for the loose cartridge.
Yeah.
For $1 more, I'm getting it with the box.
Yeah, and you are lucky because you see this box. It's a Final Fight for €250.
Yep. And I actually have Final Fight, but I have the US version in box. And I didn't pay $250 for it. But maybe it's worth $250 now, I don't know.
Ici, votre envoyé spécial en direct du Tibet avec Tintin sur les traces de Chang. Nous sommes sur le toit du monde. Tintin et le capitaine Haddock prennent tous les risques. Le danger est partout. Attention, le Yeti! Tintin au Tibet sur Super Nintendo.
So normally Pêle-Mêle is a bookstore that has CDs, DVDs, and now they have a big video game section, but they also have a comic strip section, and since we are in Belgium, they have a lot of really cool comic strips. And just looking at the prices, this is like $3 for this comic strip. In a normal store, this is like at least like $11, $12. This is crazy, and you can't even get them in America. But I mean, for me again, it's nostalgia because I grew up in Belgium, and these comic strips is really cool. And I am going to build a collection of these comic strips for sure one of these days. It's just kind of like traveling back with all of these books. And my suitcase is a little heavy, but maybe if I do a little at a time, I could probably end up with a full collection.
For my daughter, she's a big fan of this collection, and so yeah, here there are plenty of this collection. So I took 5. only €2 for one book, and normally new it's about €8 or something. So yeah, why not?
You know where to come.
Yeah.
Even though the Pêle-Mêle is originally a bookstore, we shouldn't underestimate the grandeur of the store. It really has a very big retro gaming collection, and everything is well presented with some of the more expensive items in display cases. Apart from games and books, they also have a large collection of CDs, DVDs, as well as a bunch of toys and even a decent collection of board games. This store may not be as grand as some of the bigger gaming stores in the US, but for a small country like Belgium, we can say that it truly has it all. Here we go. This is kind of cool. So you see, whenever you walk through these stores, there's always going to be some oddities. And Willow used to be one of my favorite films as a kid. And I guess they had a game too. I love it. This is awesome. It is a little pricey, unfortunately, but yeah, maybe I'll research it online. If it's a good price, I'll come back. But yeah, I'm kind of curious to play it.
Now relive the magical adventures of the movie Willow with these amazing characters that bring the story to life. There's the heroic swordsman Matt Mardigan.
Oh, and this war for you?
The evil sorceress Beth Morda. The dreaded General Cave.
I'll crush the rebels!
And brave Willow himself. The epic battles, good versus evil. You can bring the magic of Willow home with collectible figures, vehicles, and accessories, each sold separately. Willow, the magic lies within.
Really close to the Grand Place, which is basically the central place in the center of Brussels, there's a store called Smartoys. And this is one of the bigger stores, I would say, in the center of the city. And once again, they do have a ton of retro games. And you actually bought your PlayStation 4 right here, right?
Yes, indeed. And in general, I like to buy in Smartoys because I think I'm a smart guy. So why am I paying €50 for a game if I can have, I don't know, for €20 or something?
Yeah, absolutely. And then once again, with all of these stores that we're showing you, they're almost all of them at walking distance from each other, which is really cool. And again, that kind of proves that Belgium is really small, or Brussels is really small, but we won't talk about that because we love things in small packages too. But yeah, I guess we'll go get some games.
game, I bought it it was a promotion in new, but it's a weird game. You have an adventure, and then you have to stop, and you have to throw plates of sushi. I don't know why. I don't understand the mix of styles of this game. Yeah, of course, I didn't play so much with this game. Well, it's 14 euros if you want to try. Give it a shot. Or I can give you mine example.
This is the deals bin. Maybe we can find something good here. It's always hit and miss really with these bins, you know. All these things are not retro enough for me, but yeah, this store does have quite a few really good selections, honestly. This is one of the bigger stores. It's 2 floors. Top floor has a lot of toys. There's a bunch of anime stuff, a few Funko Pops. There's a couple of retro games, the Nintendo Mega Drive or Genesis version of what's the Genesis basically in Europe. It's called Mega Drive. And then downstairs they have all the 3DS, Wii U, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, Xbox One. So a lot more of the modern stuff. But yeah, it's cool to have a big video game store in the center of the city. Because as we mentioned, Belgium is very small, so a lot of the stores are kind of small usually. I'm hesitating. Should I get this horse simulator or should I get Red Dead Redemption 2? Both of them you can ride horses. It's the same price. I will buy the one that you tell me to buy. You gotta leave a comment. On our quest through town, well, we are gonna go to Gabi Games, which is a video game and action figurine store in the pretty close to the center of the city.
Yeah.
That Marcus Majart recommended. And you know the people that actually own this place, right?
Yeah, indeed. In fact, they are there, I think, since 2 or 3 years ago, and I know very well because I worked very near of the shop, and you will see it's an amazing shop, incredible stuff,
okay.
And yeah, it's like gold inside.
Okay. Well, I can't wait to check it out. So I guess we'll just go in and cut to the images of the shop. Isn't this so cool? They have so many games from Nintendo to Sega, Master System, to all these cool things. There's loose games in box. You see here? This is what I really like. These are actually Genesis games, but they're called Mega Drive in Europe. So if you're looking for Mega Drive games, well, you can't look for them in America. You got to go to Europe or I think in Japan too. But it's kind of cool. And apparently they're actually, this store is one of the main distributors for Funko Pops. So they have a ton of Funko Pops pretty much all over the store. And I don't really collect these, but they do look cool. And they do have quite a few here, which is really, really awesome. And here, they even have Masters of the Universe Funko Pops. That's awesome. I didn't know that. I love it.
This one is really my favorite. Nintendo, there are gold inside. This kind of stuff, the tabletop, I had the Donkey Kong and I was crazy about that. I played, I don't know how much hours, days. It was one of my favorites. And the Game & Watch is also very incredible. Like this, the Donkey Kong stuff, there, the Game & Watch Donkey Kong. Or, this one also, the Popeye panorama screen. That's also incredible.
Game Watch, Game Watch, Game Watch, Game Watch. It's them Game Watch, them Game Watch, them Game Watch, Game Watch.
マイクロコンピューターを使ったゲームウォッチ。ゲームをしないときはデジタル式クォーツ時計です。
Game Watch.
So there's one series that I really, really love on television, and it's Rick and Morty, but I think we spoke about it, and you don't like it too much, right?
Indeed, I'm not a fan. I tried, but I'm not a fan.
Yeah, I know you're not a fan, but you gotta admit, this is kind of cool. You know what this does? It's the portal gun that basically lets them go from one universe to the other, and this is how they go to adventures. So that is kind of cool that they actually released a gun, you know, and that looks pretty cool, you know.
Okay, I'm not a fan, but I want that.
Yeah, and you know what they did recently too, because Rick and Morty was based on, kind of like loosely based on Back to the Future, where Rick is Doc Brown and Morty is, you know, Marty McFly. And now, because they just did the season 5 finale, well, they did a bunch of little snippets, some like 30-second sections with Christopher Lloyd acting in them as Rick.
Okay.
So I don't know, that even makes it even nicer for me. I don't know.
Do you think it worked?
I mean, we should try it.
Do you want something to drink?
Sure. What do they have?
Well, oh, I know this music.
That is kind of cool.
It's kind of cool, yeah.
That is kind of cool.
Yeah, and you see there is a, Japanese Fanta. All right.
I know we're talking about video games, but we did find some Japanese Kit Kats, so I'm gonna definitely get a drink. I'm gonna get some Kit Kats, and I'm gonna force you to try some. And yes, Marcus Majart did actually try some of the sweets, and he was instantly addicted to them. With that being said, I must admit that the prices are a little steep on these snacks, since they are from Japan, but I did want to highlight that Gabi Games has a really good stock of Japanese snacks, and seeing these type of sweets sold in Europe was really a treat. So here in the back, although it is a gaming store, and yes, they have a lot of Funko Pops, the owners informed us that there is actually a back room, and in the back room, we have a bunch of toys.
Oh my God.
I love myself toys. Yes, I mean, the thing is, honestly, like, yeah, okay, I love video games, but, you know, the more I collect video games, the more I kind of like want to have also these toys that are, I don't know, there's just something about the displaying of toys that has always kind of fascinated me. And then the nostalgia, and in some ways, it just makes me smile to also see like characters, like, for example, right here in the back, we have Ninja Turtles that were popular during my childhood back in the 80s and 90s, and nowadays we're here like in 21st century 2021, and they're still making new Ninja Turtle toys, and I think that's kind of cool.
Once upon a time in the sewer there were 4 cute little turtles
who suddenly went through this incredible mutation process and became the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh my, look, they've decided to play together. And of course, they all live happily ever after.
Now they
Fun playmates.
The big star in Japan. Do you name it?
Doraemon.
Doraemon. Hi, my name is Marcus. Okay, I think he speaks Japanese. All right.
We're kind of talking about this off camera, but there's a lot of amiibos right here, and the collectability of them is awesome, but I mean, in the end, video game purpose-wise, not so much. I mean, it's. I mean, you get an extra costume or an extra something.
Only a costume or a skin or something.
Now, this is something that I think a lot of Americans don't know too much. It's we used to call them les Chevaliers du Zodiac. It's Saint Seiya in Japanese, and this was a cartoon that was super duper popular. Maybe if you're into anime and stuff like that, you'll know it. But yeah, this is that's like a lot of memories to me. This is obviously a newer toy, because they had another line that's really expensive, and of course, when you grow up, sometimes you sell some of your old toys, and I used to have a couple of them, and I sold them for a ridiculously low price, and now they're ridiculously expensive. In front of the Gabi Games, there's actually the Supercade, which is an arcade store. Well, not really a store, it's an arcade, a proper arcade, really. And we're gonna go check it out. It's gonna be kind of cool because there's not a lot of arcades left in Brussels. Are there any arcades left in Brussels?
Not much.
Not much. So yeah, I'm kind of curious to see. I've always loved retro games, so let's check it out. Supercade is a really unique place in Brussels. They have a bunch of custom-built arcade cabinets which play a wide variety of games going from super retro to modern. Being an extension of Gabi Games, they also sell Japanese snacks and have a bit of merchandise. And even though the arcade in itself isn't too big at the moment, they are planning on moving to a bigger location very soon and will also be purchasing real vintage arcade cabinets. With that being said, the way this arcade presents itself will inevitably give joy to anyone looking for a real arcade experience. And since Brussels doesn't really have any more real arcades, this is definitely the place to come in order to enjoy some of that retro nostalgia. So we've seen a couple of shops. We've bought some things, we've discovered some things. It was a lot of fun, and I think that this is probably a pretty good place to kind of end this video. Yeah. I really hope that you guys enjoyed watching us in Brussels. I hope that you discovered some new shops, that you discovered some new comic strip shops, some new video game shops, and a lot of cool culture from Belgium. And it was fun to have you on the video, of course.
Yeah, thanks to you. And thankfully, it was the last shot, because I don't have any more space in my bag.
Yes,
it's
yes.
Full.
We probably actually bought more than we thought we would buy. But either way, I hope that you guys enjoyed it. So please be sure to subscribe, hit the like button, leave me a comment too. Let me know if maybe there's some other shops in Belgium that we should discover, because this is what I found. I know that a lot of them have closed in the past year, but I'm sure that there's some new ones that are going to open, and there's probably a ton more shops that we don't know about. But anyways, have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next video.
Bye-bye.
Bye.